I know that we're late, I apologize, but here's the performance review on the GT Cut 3s. Hey, what's up guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got the performance review of the Nike GT Cut 3. This is part of their greater than series, which is what GT means. So that's why you see the different varieties and stuff, the jump, the hustle, and the cut. And I will say that this shoe right here, despite being extremely overpriced, is fantastic. So first things first, the outsole right here is very simple. It's damn near herringbone. It's just kind of enlarged and it just worked really well. It worked on every court that I took them on. I needed to do minimal wiping. If I happened to have an issue, a wipe was all they needed and then boom, they were squeaking like crazy. And no, I wouldn't take these outside, especially for the price. Even if I got them on discount, I doubt that I would do that either, just because the rubber is very soft. It's very tacky. It's almost gummy. And it's just one of those things where if you take them outdoors, they're gonna get obliterated fairly quickly. This is where the Academy comes into play, which is the lower priced offering. And I think that that shoe is just more suitable for like most of everything else. This is really supposed to be their indoor shoe, like their main indoor shoe. If the Hyper Dunk back in the day was Nike's flagship model, that's the way that they used to describe it. That's exactly what I would describe these as. This is Nike's current flagship model. Like if Nike were a signature shoe in and of itself, this would be it. So yeah, I just really love the traction. It didn't really give me any problems whatsoever. This is almost a perfect shoe in my opinion, at least compared to stuff that Nike's put out recently. And yeah, it gives you a lot of everything despite the really expensive retail price. Now, as far as the cushion is concerned, these guys right here don't have any Zoom Air in them whatsoever like the previous two models. However, I don't think that that's a big deal. I would love it if they did have Zoom Air, but I do think that they might be a little bit more unstable if they did. Instead, what we have is Zoom X foam, and that's actually housed within the EVA carrier or whatever. So like the midsole that you see is a denser or more stable foam, and then inside there's a full-on footbed or slab of Zoom X foam. It's stupid bouncy, dude. Like it's mad comfortable. I really like it. Like the way that these feel from the day that I pulled them out of the box to still right now, they feel almost the same. Like they're just that comfortable. Now, are there any instability issues with the cushion? I would say no, but on certain really harsh movements, sometimes, I think this is the rubber, but sometimes you could feel like the midsole or whatever, this forefoot area gets sucked underneath your foot. It's not anything to where like I'm gonna roll over or anything like that. It's just something I can feel. You can kind of feel the bounce when you plant. Hopefully we were able to capture that in the B-roll. I apologize for the lack of B-roll. When we walked in the gym that day, it was empty. So there was nobody to play with. It was just me.
Doesn't anyone love me?
So we did what we could, but hopefully it's good enough to kind of like show what it is I'm talking about. Now, luckily this forefoot area did have that rubber like wrapped up. So even with that kind of like bounce or that little like, I guess you would call it like a wobble or whatever, it was able to catch it, and then I was able to still move and do whatever it is that I needed to do. So there wasn't like a big issue there whatsoever. I will say that there is two issues that I had with the shoe, one of which I'll talk about in a little bit. The first one though is the insole. For whatever reason, that thing just doesn't want to break in. And so it like chews up the pads of my toes, especially my big one. And that sucks ass. Like it's one of those things where it's like, can you please break it? And it just won't, especially that one. And they're glued in there, by the way, so I can't even pull it out anymore because I was testing them like stock as they come, which was what we normally do. And yeah, now they're just like super adhered there. Yes, I could do the hairdryer trick. Do I feel like it? One of the things that I love about them is just the overall like sculpting of the midsole, the tooling, the cushioning, all that stuff. It just really works really well together, like in tandem. The back here is very reminiscent of their modern running shoes as far as Nike's concerned. And that's exactly the way that they feel. They really roll you into your forefoot and into your stride, and it's just fantastic. The materials are the other thing that like I would say are not like great. I do like the microfiber that's here in the center. The shell material that they use that's kind of like a little bit stiffer is okay. I just wish that there were some flex points. It was like right here at the like the base of the lace, like those first or last two, depending on which way you want to start. Those were the areas where they felt like they would bow or flex away from my foot a little bit, and I don't like the way that that feels. So after some playing time, I would always have to readjust my laces, and I'm talking about like every session. So that was the only thing that I found to be slightly irritating, but other than that, no real issues with the materials. They're not my favorite thing whatsoever, but do they work? Yes, they do. They're also extremely light. So if you wanted to see what these guys weighed right here, there you go. Well, I suppose that's not super light, but it's very light in hand and on foot. The overall fit, I'd go true to size. I think that works best. That's what I did, and they feel amazing. And as far as support is concerned, again, that was one of those things that I felt like it's good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I keep hearing and reading that like, oh, these lack torsion supports. Like, no, bro, do you see this plate right here? It extends into the forefoot. That thing does a few different things. One, it's a spring plate. So that whole rolling into your stride thing and really snapping or propelling you forward, it does that. On top of that, try twisting this. You can't. This is one stiff shoe. Despite how light they are, despite how bouncy they are, it's extremely supportive. So I don't know why that's even a concern. I'm not sure if people that are complaining about it exactly know what they're talking about, but either way, this right here is solid. Like, this is more support than we've gotten from any Kyrie from Nike ever, and more support than we've gotten from the current book line. So yeah, the one area of support that could be upgraded is the heel. The heel counter could be a little bit more rigid, but other than that, like, really not a big issue. So the overall fit, the stability, like the width of the shoe and stuff like that, the way that everything is sculpted, it all works in tandem together, and it just is a fun ride, man. Like, if you have not played in these and maybe the price is the thing deterring you, first off, I understand completely. Second, wait until they're within range and then try them out. You might just like these. So with that being said though, what is today's question of the day?
Would you prefer to review action figures or sneakers?
Oh,
So feel free to go back in time and explain how you got here.
what do you mean?
A long, long time ago, every nook and cranny in our 2-bedroom apartment was full of shoes and action figures. And your wife said, one's gotta go.
Outwit the toys. Yeah, that's not how we got here though.
I know, but I'm just saying it's part of how we got here.
There was never once when I decided to pick up a camera for whatever strange reason, that the reason why I wanted to pick up a camera was to talk about toys.
No, I know.
Okay, so let's just put that out there right now. So let's just say that. I'm deeply in love with footwear and the way that it performs and all that stuff. So that's what obviously I chose to talk about when I did pick up that camera. And so that's what I really love talking about still to this day. But would I like to review toys? I don't know. Because a review to me is full of lots of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's full of tons of information, historical information, or at least halfway accurate information, things that you just didn't know. And I feel like the people that do toy reviews do that stuff really, really well. As far as like reviewing a product, that's the thing. Like, a toy to me is a toy. You know what I mean? Like, this is equipment. When I buy this, like, for one, it's way more expensive than a figure. At least the figures that I buy. I know that there's like Hot Toys and stuff like that that are, believe it or not, more expensive than any shoe on the shelf right now. But yeah, I'm not like that critical of toys. Like, what would I talk about? Like, hey, here's Wolverine for the billionth time.
Hey, it's a big island, bub.
So yeah, so it's just one of those things where I would love to make toy videos. Just how would I do it? I don't know. I can tell you right now that it wouldn't be critical whatsoever. It would just be, look at how awesome this thing is. And man, I wish that we had stuff like this when I was a kid. That's how I look at toys. Did you want a BTS? So yeah, excuse the mess, but this is just some of the stuff. I like this stuff, man. I think this is awesome. This is a mixture of retro and originals. This is all retro right here. Those are originals. Those are fantastic. Those are also originals, and those are also originals. This is a mix of retro and original, and then we've got all of this stuff too. So these are the new ones. But then those are the old ones. These are what I had as a kid. These are amazing. But yeah, I would like to make videos on stuff like that, but I don't know, or I don't feel confident that I would do it any better than anybody else that does it. But with that being said, I hope that you guys found the performance review. Wow, that's actually a really weird thing. A lot of basketball players are gonna see all my action figures and be like, dude, you're a lame. So, like, what a dork.
No, or they're gonna be like,
Maybe. So you like to play with toys and get buckets?
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep!
Anyways, that's the performance review. Hopefully I'm not too embarrassed, but we'll see in the comment section pretty soon. And if you guys wanted to have a question of the day or participate in it, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. We would love to choose one. If we don't get to it and you think that it's a great one, make sure that you keep leaving it. We'll find it eventually and we'll post it and stuff, and I'll answer your guys' question. They could be pretty much anything. They could be random. They could be cool behind the scenes stuff like this, or personal stuff, whatever it is that you want to talk about. I'm here for it, man. But with that being said, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting us, checking out the channel, leaving likes, leaving comments, hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. We will catch you on the next one. So until then, have a good one.